Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Bert the Stormtrooper and this is the home of That's Just Prime, the comprehensive Optimus Prime review series. I also review other Transformers, lots of G1 stuff, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, GoBots, and pretty much any other toy that may jump out at me. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking me out. Please be sure to click that subscribe button and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share if you like what you see.
Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise QUINTESSON Judge. And this was a gift from a friend of mine, friend of the channel, friend of mine, and awesome podcaster Frank from The Mediocre Show. Frank and I are friends, and he's contacted me, and he's one day out of the blue, he just said, "Hey man, you got this QUINTESSON Judge?" And I'm like, "Actually, no, I never even saw him on the shelf." He's like, "I got an extra. Here you go." Sent it to me. No charge, nothing. He just, "Here you go." The only thing that he asked was that I open it on camera and review it, and I am all too happy to oblige. So Frank, thank you so much for the awesome gift. I am really looking forward to opening this guy. And for everybody watching, go check out The Mediocre Show at mediocreshow.com. That is a fantastic podcast. I've been listening to them for over 10 years. One of the best podcasts out there. But let's get back to the QUINTESSON Judge here. This was released back in August of 2020. It is a Voyager class figure, so it retailed for approximately $30. And we can see here the QUINTESSON Judge right inside of the window box here. We can see pretty much most of it because you've got the bubble with the three faces that are just poking out there. And then we've got the other two faces over here. So it looks like there will be some assembly required. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know anything about this. I don't know if this transforms. I've done no research on this. I wanted to go into this fresh. So I don't know if this transforms or, I mean, the QUINTESSON Judge didn't transform on the show. So if this does transform or if it has any other kind of a mode, it's going to be a news to me. So we'll find out here together. So here on the side, you've got that Earthrise artwork. You see the Ark crashing into Earth. On this side over here, we've got some artwork of the QUINTESSON Judge, and then they're on the back. We can see the QUINTESSON Judge sitting on his seat. It shows that it looks like it can actually rotate just like it did on the show, so you can see all the different faces. They can take turns speaking, and then it does look like there's some sort of a mode here, maybe like a jail or something. I'm not sure quite what this is, but it does look like it has the connect system, so you can connect this to some of the other play sets like you would with maybe like Skylinks or even Scorponok. So yeah, very, very cool. That is about it for the packaging. Let's get this thing opened up and check it out. And here we have the QUINTESSON Judge out of the package and shown with everything he comes included. So as we had back in the Siege days, we had these backgrounds with the piece of the map, and you also get a decoder, and you can use the decoder to find the name of the planet, which in this case is actually in Cybertronian. You can't actually read that. If you're like me, at least you can't read that. You got to put that to some sort of online translator to figure out what the heck we're looking for here. But there you go. Piece of the map for those of you guys that were doing that back in the day. I never did follow that. So that all went kind of above my head. We also got the sheet of instructions. Again, just your regular sheet of instructions, gray on gray. Back then we had the teal showing us all the transformation steps. The transformation on this thing is weird. It's kind of like obligatory transformation, like we shoehorned a mode in here because we had to, because it's a transformer, so we had to invent some sort of a transformation. It's kind of cool because it sort of transforms into a play set that connects with, you know, you've got the little connector piece here, so you can connect this to like Double Dealer or Scorponok or any of the other playsets that have these connector pieces to form those cities with. And so it does become part of that whole playset for the Micromasters kind of a thing. So it's kind of a weak mode on its own, but when you combine it with other playsets and play with the Micromasters with it, it makes sense. So he's also got the little handgun here. We'll bring this guy in close. So he does have a little I want to say this is a handgun, but if I recall I can't get it to focus. There we go. If I recall in the one and only episode where he actually held something like this was more of a welder because he was repairing Optimus Prime. Or not him specifically, but a QUINTESSON in G1. But I think this is meant to be a blaster. But there it is. And then, of course, you get the QUINTESSON himself, which is approximately 7 inches tall. I guess you've got more pieces here to talk about, so we'll do that real quick. You've got the little throne piece here. This is also going to separate to become the ramp and connector for the other play sets. And then you've got like this little energy beam kind of a thing here where he's kind of floating off of, because he's just not going to stand on his own. So you're going to connect that to that. So if you want him standing on his own, you could do that. Or you got 2 little peg holes down there in the bottom, or ports, so you can peg him in right there. That's really kind of about it for him. He's really more meant to just be, like this. So let's take a closer look at him. We'll take him off his little seat for a second, and we'll take a closer look at him going all the way around. You can see all 5 of the faces there. None of the mouths are articulated. None of this moves or anything like that. Well, I guess this one does because of the little chin piece here. So you can kind of make this one talk. And yeah, that's really kind of about it. This is just kind of one of those that you want to get him to stand there. Oh, this one also open and closes. Check that out. I wonder if... Oh, yeah. Look, the mouths do move. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, you can actually get him to open and close his mouth. That's kind of neat. Does this one? Let's see if this one does anything. I don't think this one does. This, I think, is going to be the exception. But that one did. Did this one talk? Doesn't look like this one talked. So 3 of the heads. 3 of the heads can talk. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's something I didn't know. You got these little arm tentacle things sticking out all over the place. They are on the hinge, so you can move them up and down, like so. You just kind of get them all kind of flailing like that if you want, or you can move them down. They are soft and flexible, so you can kind of move them around a little bit, get them out of your way. And then there is a little spinning gimmick right back here. You got the little lever. So to do this, actually, you want to get the little tentacles out of the way, but you can actually flip this lever and the head's going to spin, which is actually pretty cool. So you can take him, and let's say we want to get him nice and straight like this. There's a little peg hole right there. You can take one of the arms and take the little peg right there and just kind of pop it in there. And then you can take the gun. You can take the gun and just kind of really peg it into any of the tentacles that you want. I kind of like doing it here because it kind of almost makes it look like he's pointing it at you if this is the front. And I'm basing that solely on the little lever because I'm putting the lever facing back and away from me. So if I'm doing this, then he's facing front. So this is kind of like he's pointing it at me kind of a thing, right? So let's move the tentacles out of the way. We'll get him pegged back into the seat here like that. And then again, you want to move the tentacles down, get them out of the way here for the little spinning gimmick thing. And this is going to be kind of hard to do from back here. So you reach back here and you flip the little lever thing. And if you do it soft enough, you can go one by one, or you can kind of just give it a good flip, hold it, and then just kind of let it land on a random head. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool play feature. Unfortunately, it's one of those play features you don't get to look at because you really kind of want to be back here doing this, so you're not getting to see what phase he lands on over here. But there you go. Yeah, hey, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I'm actually having a lot more fun with this than I thought I was going to. Let's give it a quick comparison. Since he is a Voyager class, I do have a Voyager class Retgar right here. It's Studio Series, but it is still a Voyager and a Voyager, so you can kind of see what these guys look like together. I do have a deluxe class figure here, so we'll bring in Bumblebee, Origins Bumblebee, so you can see what these guys all look like side by side. You can kind of get a kind of an idea of the size differences there. All right, let's get into the transformation, or if we want to call it that. So we're going to take the little chair piece here, just unplug these tabs from the slots, and then just kind of make this thing flat, just like that. That's kind of about it. We're going to go to remove the little gun, set that off to the side, unplug all of those. Alrighty. Take the dome. This is going to come completely out, and then you're going to take this and unplug it there are 2 ports here on the top of this little cage and 2 pegs up there. So you're just going to unplug that, set that off to the side, set this off to the side, take the little energy thing here, take this off, and we're going to use those 2 ports and we're going to plug it into those 2 pegs in there. And good luck, because you got to do that by faith and by feel, because you can't really see what you're doing. But there you go. Do that. Okay, we're going to take every single one of these heads and we're going to flip them all up, like so. Flip every single one of these heads up. Whatever chins will move forward, move them forward, because you're going to need those. Take all of these little panels here and we're going to flip these down. These are on double hinges. There, and then finally this last one over here actually has a little opening door. Oh, you want to line this up. Almost forgot. Let me move these out of the way again. So we're going to want to turn this. There we go. You're going to want to turn this so that you got these 2 slots right here pointing to those 2 tabs right up there. That's going to let you bring this door all the way down, or this ramp rather, all the way down, and then we can bring the rest of these down. And then these tentacles, again, you're going to use these hinges and just kind of hinge them up like so, so that it can stand like that, okay? Take your little panel here. These are going to connect together to form that little ramp thing there. This is weird. This is just going to kind of sit up here. And you just kind of want to get it in there. Let me try it with the chins closed, maybe. That'll fit better with the chins closed. It doesn't really like peg into place or anything like that. It just kind of sits there, which is kind of weird. But there you go. There's that. And I can never really get this tentacle out of the way. And then you're supposed to take the little cage here and pop the gun to the top of that. You could also pop the gun, you know, pretty much anywhere. And then the cage just kind of sits there. It just sits there. That's about it. There's a hinge on this cage, so this opens up. So you could bring in a little Micromaster. Supposedly he could fit in there. This guy absolutely does not. But you could open the little cage, put a little Micromaster in there, and then close the cage back up. And then have him in jail, waiting to be judged. So yeah, that's kind of about it for the transformation. Again, it's really kind of weak. It's silly, and it's kind of weak on its own merit. But I see what they're going for here. When you connect this to the other city bots, if you connect this to, again, Scorponok and Double Dealer and Skylinks, and you just start connecting all of those cities and just kind of making your own city. This is what the Micromaster line was aimed at back in the 80s. And that's what these guys were doing here. So you start connecting all of those bots, forming all of these cities, and just kind of making your own giant custom playset for these Micromasters. And so when you look at it that way, this actually does work. Okay, you got a little jail sale kind of a thing here going on for the Micromasters. It's pretty cool. On its own, kind of weak, but you know, combined with the other ones and playing with the Micromasters and all that, I can see what they're going for. It's a cool, fun little feature. And here we have one last look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise QUINTESSON Judge. I'd like to thank one more time my friend Frank for the awesome donation to the channel. This guy is going to look great up on the shelf with the rest of the figures. Let me know what you thought of this figure down in the comments below. Give me some thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got a donate button up there if you want to hit on that. I certainly would appreciate it. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.